morning, good evening, or perhaps even you're having lunch right now. Wherever you are in the world, what time it is, I want to welcome you into the Investing Bros. I am T. Shroom, and I'm really, really glad that you're here. Bitcoin continues to inch higher, although this morning we are seeing a little bit of a lower bid for Bitcoin. We'll be taking a look at the charts here in just a few moments. But first, I want to tell you guys that Charles Hoskinson has actually come out with a proposal that is really, really interesting, and it just might send Cardano higher if that proposal is agreed upon, is approved, right? So the crypto market's definitely waiting for a lot of approval from a lot of different directions. But let's go ahead and take a look here at the Bitcoin charts here in the early hours of November 13th. Here we are over on the East Coast. I'm coming to you live from Florida, USA. And as you can see, Bitcoin price actually inched higher over the weekend. Didn't put any kind of new highs in, but was able to test some of these levels, 37.4 level, rejected, and has now started to make a move lower. We've been expecting this. We've been talking about this. And guys, if you are feeling fearful, bros, if you are feeling any kind of anxiety, don't. Because you shouldn't have ever invested more than you can afford to lose, right? If you're following the basic principle therein, you should be in a position where you're not only lacking in fear and anxiety, but you're actually overcome with hope and a vision for opportunity. Because as price in Bitcoin goes lower, I'm looking to buy this, right? Probably not quite yet. I might DCA. However, I want to see this price come much lower, and I don't think that there's a catalyst in the market quite yet for that. In fact, I think most of the news today that we're about to get to is showing that Bitcoin's price is probably going to make a move to the upside before it goes lower and tests those levels such as 32,000 or 30,000, which is what I've had my eye on to buy more Bitcoin. Now, on the Ethereum side, you can see something similar. There's been a little bit of a move downward over the weekend. However, Ethereum still sitting comfortably above 2,000 per coin, and down on the 4-hour, it's gotten below that Bollinger Band midline. But I wouldn't be too fearful about this one either, guys. Again, there needs to be some kind of reason why crypto would make a move significantly lower, right? And that reason is not in the news today, at least. It may come later this week in the form of FUD or in the form of legitimate news that could potentially send crypto lower. Of course, I would not be selling in that case. I would more than likely be looking for new entries. All right, guys. Well, that's a quick micro update on the charts there. What I want to point out is that if you're not getting enough TA, we've got all kinds of TA for you. If you just go to our channel, Tim, our TA extraordinaire, expert, guru, some might say. He's put out a video every morning at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and today's no different. Just a couple minutes ago here, his videos come out, and he's predicting a Bitcoin breakout. And also, I'll point out that we had a big interview with Crypto Archie. This was a lot of fun. Crypto and Archie and we talked about Hello Token, we talked about Caspa, and we also talked about two other mystery coins that are really interesting. And I scooped a couple of them up just because I was so compelled. But that video is at 2.5K. Let's go ahead and boost that up. If you haven't watched it yet, head on over to the Investing Bros and give it a check. Now, we've got a little bit of something today for VeChain fans. We're going to be getting to that in just a second here. You can see our videos live here, but if you also missed out on this video, man, this one was a lot of fun, where Tim revealed what the top 10 coins will be on coinmarketcap.com by 2025. This was a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun, and also my little dog made an appearance on the video. So head on over to our Investing Bros channel, which you're already on, and take a look at some of the other videos we've got. We bring a ton of value every single week. We try to make it happen for you on the charts and in the news. All right, let's get into it. Kraken said to seek partner to help build a layer 2 blockchain network. This was from last week, November 6th, okay? So why is this significant? Well, because Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano, he's responded with a massive partnership for Cardano proposed by Charles Hoskinson. Okay, let's get into the details here, guys. Let's start from the left and read to the right. Charles Hoskinson recently took it to Twitter to offer a potential collaboration between his organization and the cryptocurrency exchange Kraken. Specifically, he wants the two entities to build a mutual Layer 2 blockchain network. Pretty cool, huh? One cryptocurrency exchange that has already launched such a network is Coinbase. Maybe you've heard of it. Dubbed Base, it enables developers to build decentralized applications, dApps, with access to platforms, verified users, and assets. So that is actually super cool and could be a very, very big moment for Cardano if it could go ahead and capture that partnership. Now, I'm pretty excited about this. It's definitely not confirmed yet. But guys, this would be extremely bullish for Cardano. Cardano has been a little bit late in this cycle so far, in this bull rally, right? Not bull market quite yet, but in this bull rally. Cardano, I wouldn't say has struggled because it's definitely, according to its price per coin, is definitely doing a lot to the opposite of struggling here. You can see a lot of up and to the right movement. But if you do compare it to its counterparts of Solana and Bitcoin and Chainlink, there are definitely some room for improvement there for Cardano. Well, with this announcement here, with the potential partnership between Hoskinson and Kraken, Cardano and Kraken, which this could send Cardano's price much, much higher. Now, take a look at this graphic here. This had to have been AI generated. This is pretty bad. Or they paid somebody very, very small amount of money to look at it. It's just somebody high-fiving a question mark, and then, oh man, Crypto Potato, do a little bit better there, guys, with your graphics. Come on now. Well, over on the Cardano charts, you can see Cardano has pulled away from the midline of that Bollinger Band, hasn't seen it on the daily chart since October 22nd. So it's been a little bit, since Cardano's rally here. Cardano has put on the thrusters and has moved higher. We have not seen the best quite yet. We know what Cardano is capable of. In the last bull market, we've seen some crazy upside. With like 12,000% increase, right? But this is not anywhere near that quite yet. But it is an encouraging sign for bulls. Absolutely, 65% to the upside, wick to wick, looking pretty good there from Cardano. And there is certainly more to come with Charles Hoskinson showing that he's got his head on his shoulders very well, and he's thinking the right thoughts to try to bring some value to this crypto economy. Eric Wallen saying, hey, bud. Let's see. Kevin Husama said, Cardano on crack is OP. I like that. Cardano on crack. That's pretty funny. Let's see what else we got. Eric Wallen said, hi, Piper. So Piper must be in the chat somewhere. Let's see if we can find him. Gia S said, GM Army Piper. So there he is. Army Piper. Good morning, bros and broskies. Gotta love it. Now, we do have a birthday shout out, which is GS. GS said, good morning, happy Monday, and happy birthday to you, GS. It is another rotation around the sun for GS, and we are extremely excited for you. Hopefully, you had some good time to celebrate with family and friends, and your birthday is kind of coinciding with what could be the beginning of the bull market here. Certainly been a nice little bull rally for us in crypto who are hodlers or traders as well. C90 FTW said, fighting a cold here, but watching the markets. All right, well, I hope that you feel better there, C90. We're certainly cheering for you here at the Bros. Nancy Corey said, good morning to all, happy new week. Yes, I like it. And then a mellow fellow said, start her up, T-Shroom. All right. Absolutely. Well, we got a ton of action in the chat. Go ahead. Make sure you guys wish Gia S a happy birthday. She's a really special bro here in the chat and in the community. We love her a lot. We genuinely do. Thank you so much for being a part. All right, let's keep moving here, guys. We've got a little bit of a sour tone coming up, a little bit of a moment of melancholy, perhaps, because this next story, it might have you shaking in your boots. Moody's turns negative on U.S. credit rating, drawing Washington's ire. All right, so you may have heard this. This is a story from late last week. November 10th is when this one was published, but it is extremely, extremely important now. And of course, the market did not really have any time to digest this before it came out. I believe at closing. Yes. So let's go ahead and of the New York session last week on Friday. So let's take a look here at some of the details from Reuters on this headline. Federal spending and political polarization has been rising, and it's been raising concern for investors, contributing to a sell-off that took U.S. government bond prices to their lowest level in 16 years. Yes, that's true. And when bond prices go down, what goes up? I'll give you 5 seconds. Bond yields. As bond prices go down, bond yields go up, and vice versa. Little trivia there for the morning. It is hard to disagree with the rationale with no reasonable expectation for fiscal consolidation anytime soon, said Christopher Hodge, chief economist for the U.S. at Natixis. Could they have come up with a word that's more difficult to pronounce? Deficits will remain large, and as interest costs take up a larger share of the budget, the debt burden will continue to grow. Well, this reminds me of a quote that I heard over the weekend, and this was from actually Vivek Ramaswamy, right? And nobody's going to ever be able to pronounce that word right. But here's what he said. He said, when our interest payments on our national debt becomes the largest line item in the federal budget, as is projected to happen in about 3 years, then we are toast. It's quicksand leading us down from there. Now, Vivek, bringing some facts here, this plays into this story quite well, because you can play out Keynesian economics for quite a while, especially in a gigantic economy like the global economy we have and centered in the United States, right? But eventually you're going to hit the math wall where the numbers just don't make sense anymore, right? And in about 3 years, the interest payments are going to be the largest line item on the federal budget. That's insane. We're not fighting a war against space aliens and having to use every drop of resources that we have to try to come together against a common goal. That's not the case. Things have been going on, for the most part, business as usual. Yes, we've had financial crises. Yes, we've had global pandemics. But at the end of the day, what is the argument for going into 120% plus debt to GDP? There is none. There is nothing. There's not been an existential threat to the globe that we've had to rally and go into this much debt and deficit. It is clearly the result simply of a runaway government, of a government that has lost its interest in serving the people and has gained its interest in serving itself or serving something else other than the people. So it seems. And the people aren't just going to sit back and take it, right? And this is what Bitcoin is all about. Bitcoin is saying, hey, the government, when it comes to currency, the government has not innovated. And we have, the private industry has. Now, nobody knows exactly who Satoshi is, right? But somebody spun up this alien technology that is absolutely amazing and has led to and will continue to lead to prosperity. We're going to get to that coming into hard facts here in just a moment, exactly what that means. But more on this Moody's story. Moody's is the last of 3 major rating agencies to maintain a top rating for the U.S. government. Fitch changed its rating from AAA, triple negative A, to AA+, in August, joining S&P, which has a AA+ rating since 2011. Okay, so this is important, that there are 3 major horsemen, so to speak, that are, kind of projecting doom and gloom for the future of the U.S. economy, right? Downgrading the core asset, their bonds, right? So now the third one, Moody's, has come just short of that, but has downgraded from neutral to negative, right? The outlook for the bond markets is essentially. Immediately after Moody's release, White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre said that the change was yet another consequence of congressional Republican extremism and dysfunction. So a member of the executive branch of a democratic government calling Congress, a subsect of Congress, to blame for the woes of today. Oh man, the government pointing a finger at itself. Well, maybe the government is to blame, and maybe the solution shouldn't come from the government. That much I can agree with the White House spokesperson, Karine Jean-Pierre, which has just a fun name to read and say. I think so. A lot of French names are fun to read. But no, seriously, guys, this is pretty bad, right? You don't have a serious rating agency that's come out and showed any confidence in the U.S. economy, which is the strongest and largest economy by far in the world. Okay? So what does this mean? It means that people still need things. People still need, right, breakfast. They still need to put fuel in their vehicles. Okay? But the government that has been tasked with regulating industry, regulating the economy, and making sure that labor conditions are upheld, making sure that wage rates are maintained, and making sure that disputes are adjudicated, it's failing, right? Its own budget in 3 years is going to be taken over by interest payments alone. It's insane. That is insane. And it would, of course, never happen in a cryptocurrency with a fixed supply such as Bitcoin, which has only 21 million coins. Well, that's a sour note. I said it was going to be sour. It was. A not so sour note is this one here. Because while the economy is slumping, Bitcoin Millionaire Club explodes. Wallet numbers triple in 2023 frenzy. And guys, what did I say? This is just a bull rally, right? It's not even a bull market quite yet. At least I'm not calling it a bull market quite yet. We're getting close, though. Bitcoin's skyrocketing riches, 237% surge in million-dollar wallets. In a testament to Bitcoin's soaring prominence, the number of wallets holding over 1 million in Bitcoin has surged by an astounding 237% this year. Data from BitInfoCharts shows. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see here on this chart, take a screenshot. You go analyze it a little later. Oh, let me get it to where you can get the whole picture of it. Yeah, there you go. Take a picture of that. You can go take a look at it a little later for yourself. But man, this is just astounding, isn't it? It is absolutely incredible to see, things working out the way they should be for Bitcoin. Things maybe not going in the right direction for the U.S. economy and the U.S. financial monetary establishment. Okay, but for Bitcoin, things are moving in the right direction. A lot of people thought that Bitcoin was dead. A lot of institutions that seem to be attached by the truly dying industry, the truly dying entity, which is the U.S. government, seem to be saying that Bitcoin was going down and going down for good. I don't know. If you take a look at the charts, it seems to be indicating the opposite. But let's take a look at our next story here. Now, this is kind of drilling into one specific altcoin. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and run on over to the chat here. Grandiose said, who is the huge partnership? So we covered it already, Kraken and Cardano. So that is kind of the proposed partnership proposed by Charles Hoskinson, which is essentially kind of taking the success that Coinbase has had with its layer 2 base and copying pasting that for Kraken. All right, let's go ahead and see. Army Piper celebrates 4 months of membership. When collab? I'm trading wars today, so open the rest of the week. Yeah, so let's do it. I've got a message going with Army Piper to try and set up a collab. But guys, at the end of this show here in about 10 minutes, Army Piper will be going live to cover some TA. So definitely go check out his channel there at the Piper Academy. Army Piper said, and when bond yields go up, investors turn away from risk for easy gains. Absolutely. Absolutely. Josh Denham said, good morning. It is a good morning, Josh Denham. I hope that you're doing real well. Hope that you're doing real well in your denim jeans. All right. I love it. Matt C. dropping a chat. He said, "Good morning to everyone." Adding many, many people. Gotta love it. Mellow Fellow said, "I love Bitcoin." That is incredible. That is incredible. Do you love dollars? I doubt it. I'm starting less and less to love dollars. Not that I ever loved dollars, but they're definitely doing less and less for me every day. I have less and less reason to hold them in my bank account. Still have to, though, just in case, because my landlord only takes dollars still, but I don't know how much longer that's going to be. All right, let's go ahead and scoot on to this next story that is really focused on Solana. So if you're a Cardano fan, you may not like this one as much. I'm not going to spend too much time in it, but it is important. Coinbase to launch Solana perpetual futures. Will SOL rally continue? You know, as we know, when there's futures introduced into a market, that adds a layer of potential for more manipulation. Of course, that's not a guarantee, okay? But this is coming, and now you have a different way to leverage trade Solana, essentially. So for all of you Solana traders, it's probably a new dawn of greatness. All right, and for Solana holders, maybe not such a great headline, but let's keep moving. SEC nears decision on batch of spot Bitcoin ETFs. Deadline looms. Yes, it does indeed. Going to cut to the chase here. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission faces a critical and crucial deadline this week by November 17th. They've got several ETFs to approve of the spot coin. I think I'm just going to call it that. Spot coin variety. And it's going to be a pretty big deal if they go ahead and approve that. They have until November 17th. This is kind of the closing of the window. And then there's several more windows that open. But the last of which really ends, from what I understand, on January 10th and 11th. You know, by then, if the SEC has not decided on specifically the ARK Invest ETF, spot coin ETF, then it's going to be in trouble, right? Then something's going to give. They either deny it, confirm it, or really open up a whole new world of precedent for approving ETFs. And honestly, it's probably going to conclude with Gary Gensler being removed from his position, which means that the likelihood of that happening is very low, very slim. So more than likely, we're either going to get an approval by January 11th or a decline, right? A denial. So my bet, as I still think, I'm kind of going with what the BlackRock actual employees or the actual staff think, which is that we're going to get it approved in December. The spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved in December. The iShares one, along with all of the rest of them at the same time. Maybe the Grayscale gets approved. Maybe it doesn't. That one's a little bit more up in the air. But let's keep chugging here. JP Morgan Programmable Payments enhance VeChain and IOTA partner Siemens Treasury Automation. Not going to get into the details here, guys, but you don't get much news for IOTA and VeChain of this level. JP Morgan, I don't know if they intended to boost the confidence in these two partners, in these two projects, but they certainly did, partnering up with Siemens Treasury Automation. So that could be big for VeChain. That could be big for IOTA. I have exposure to neither of these projects, and that's okay, guys. That's okay. Trust me, there are going to be many, many big pops in the news and on the charts of which assets you have zero exposure to. What do? Do you pout? Do you scream? Do you shout? No. You take it for what it is. You take the information. You say, how could I maybe improve next time and be able to capture some of these opportunities? And you just keep chugging right along, right? Because if you get too caught up in going down all the millions of rabbit holes that pop up every day in crypto, you're going to forget about the actual opportunities and the exposure you have to the projects that you have invested in, right? Don't neglect the coins in your bag to deviate your focus and waste time focusing on coins that aren't in your bag. When you see prices go up for coins that are not in your bag, just cheer. Send out a tweet. Congratulate those communities, right? Be a part of the solution, not the problem to your own finances. Don't neglect the investments that you've made. All right, last story here, guys. It's a bullish one. ARK Invest, 21 shares slated to intro crypto ETF suite next week. So this is coming out of left field. I don't think anybody was expecting this. Let's get into a little bit of the details as we wrap up here. ARK Invest and 21 shares plan to introduce 5 funds that hold Bitcoin futures contracts, Ether futures, or both. on Tuesday and Wednesday, the firms had jointly filed for these products in August. Okay, so there was some anticipation for these, and they are not also the first of their kind. I've heard of these being introduced before, of hybrid ETFs for crypto. So this could be pretty big. I also think that they have some ETFs that are coming out that are focusing much more on altcoins in general, right? So going on down the ladder of market cap to try to bring a little bit of liquidity, a little bit more investment into altcoins that are different from, just your Bitcoin and your Ethereum names. So that could be pretty big. That could be pretty exciting for the altcoin world. Well, guys, it is 9:26. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been T. Shroom in for the Investing Bros. Make sure you tune in today, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to this channel. Yet again, we'll be going live. Tim and I will be doing coverage of news and developments, some of the news that we just talked about, and some of the news that has yet to develop. Who knows what kind of mysterious new headlines will be circulating around the crypto sphere. We will absolutely be covering those and any developments on the charts. But guys, make sure that you go ahead and check out those videos that I was talking about at the front end of this video, this live stream, the top 10 crypto of 2025, as predicted by Tim. I will be doing my predictions next weekend. You'll be hearing more about that. And then also make sure you go and that's this live stream. Make sure you go to the videos tab as well on our channel and watch the awesome video I did with Crypto Archie. We had a ton of fun talking about Caspa, Hello Token, and 2 mystery tokens, of which you're not going to want to miss out on. And then also Tim has done his TA this morning, and I've got to say, it is some good TA to start off your week here on Monday, baby. It is November 13th. We're starting off another week here in crypto. We're starting it off pretty bullish. Yes, the U.S. government got a downgrade, but that is probably only going to be good for crypto. So don't celebrate too hard, because at the end of the day, we still got to live in this country, right? We don't want it to just tank. We want people to thrive. We want humans to succeed, and crypto is here, okay? But we have to help people understand that this transition is going to be painful. So make sure you're doing your part to help orange pill folks and get them exposed to the number one asset of the future. That is Bitcoin, and that is crypto. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I'm T. Shroom. See you at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, baby.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.